My name is Russell Rhodes. I'm a clinical associate professor at the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University. I'm going to talk a little bit about the weekend. We all love the weekend, and the weekend actually has an impact on implied volatility. Now, behind me is the S&P 500 pit, and on a regular old Friday afternoon, if things are kind of slow, what you'll start to see is the implied volatility of options that trade in this pit go down a little bit. And what they're doing is they're basically adjusting for time decay over the weekend by lowering the implied volatility input. This has the same impact on VIX. Remember, VIX is an index that is based on the implied volatility of S&P 500 index options. So what happens when we have a 3-day weekend? Well, it's actually accentuated. VIX has a bit more of a headwind when we're going into a 3-day weekend, and the net result is VIX is more likely, the spot VIX is more likely to be down on a Friday or a Thursday before a 3-day weekend and then be up the day after a 3-day weekend. What is not impacted by all that is the VIX futures. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm paying attention to the volatility markets and looking at what VIX is doing relative to the S&P 500 is pay close attention to the front month future. The front month future, the guys that trade those know that we've got a headwind going into the weekend and a tailwind coming out of a weekend and a bigger headwind on a 3-day weekend and bigger tailwind on a 3-day weekend. They're aware of that, and the futures don't necessarily experience the same sort of drag or boost that the spot index does. So if you use VIX as an indicator, and I really do think everybody that trades the S&P 500 should, if you're using that as an indicator, you might want to also put the front month VIX future right under where you have VIX on your quote machine, because that might be a better indicator on Fridays, might be a little bit better indicator on Mondays, and definitely a better indicator when we're taking a look at a holiday weekend.